Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to some more. Thank you, Galerius. Let's play The Forgotten City. This will be part 2 of our Let's Play. In the last episode, well, it was the first one, so we only just arrived. We found out that someone's going to break the Golden Rule, because it's in a prophecy. The Golden Rule is basically like, live without sin, don't mess it up, or everyone dies. So we learned someone's going to, well, mess it up and everyone's going to die. And we need to figure out who it is and bring it to the magistrate before it happens. I don't know how they're gonna deal with that, but I guess we'll see. But first things first, you have to go to the Shrine of Apollo. So, hello? Lucretia?
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing.
Oh?
And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly."
Jesus.
Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the Golden Rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the Golden Rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel with her dying breath.
Is there something I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do.
Find out who killed her?
Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again.
Okay.
I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the Golden Rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Okay. That's dangerous talk.
Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
Okay. Statue of Apollo. Okay, Iulia doesn't have anything. Alright, so silphium, eh? Oh, this one's got a robe on. Oh, look, isn't that nice? Did you just look at me? Yeah, he did. Stop it. Stop looking at me. Stop it.
Greetings and salutations.
Hello there.
Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must
Sure.
say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary.
Sartorial.
Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which
America.
do you hail?
I'm from the edge of the known world.
Then
From
you are
beyond
an
the edge of the known
explorer,
world.
like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Sure. What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
How did you end up here?
Good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Okay, why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares. and
Oh, is this gonna be everyone's like dead?
to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a
I think
few
everyone
friends,
here's gonna have been
and we
dead.
began making our way through some of the most exquisite
Because
wines
I
in
like
the
drowned that got pulled out of the river.
Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before.
He might have
I
drunk
even
himself to
found
death.
myself naked in the desert sands
Hmm.
once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then
So maybe he got drunk and fell out a window or something?
regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of
Yep.
the Tiber, gods know how many miles from
The
my
Tiber. That's yeah. So you floated down the Tiber.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it.
Yeah. See.
In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I
Right.
went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
It's exactly the same thing that happened to me. Why set up a tailor shop here?
Say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, more or less.
I tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
better
that's
our
very
chances
sensible.
of
Everyone needs a job, right?
Don't you agree?
Fair enough. Let's
Anything
talk something else. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
True that. Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the
Ah, one of the stories I actually do know.
Mother of Persephone learned of this. She did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed
That's
the
right, she
climate
punished
there
the entire
so that
world.
it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced
Yeah.
to repent, lest they have no worshippers left.
It's actually one of the only stories I do know in Greek mythology. It's good
This
fun.
has always been the case. The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about
We
it?
are to survive. I say we must each keep the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
Okay, sounds simple enough.
Doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone.
Yeah, if you would complain about other people
99%
doing it,
of us
don't do it.
adopt this principle, that will never be enough.
It's actually a pretty
Sadly,
decent
no matter how
decent
well we protect
philosophy for
ourselves,
life,
the
really.
life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
The voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule.
Keeps a piece.
For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make
Ah,
much
so that's
sense
why the
to
one out in the
my
front
lord,
has
do they not?
a toga on. That's good. Who are you gonna vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus.
Why?
I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the
Right.
wrong way.
Anything I can do about that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
You know the way out of here.
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
The last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me.
Tell me more, my friend.
It is a long story.
It's not as if I'm going anywhere.
Ah, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all.
It's true.
And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. As
But surely you could like all work together and build something to get out, if that was the way you wanted to go.
The way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way
It's
out.
true. Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
I am getting to that. There was an attempt, made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and tragically is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this
Okay.
place. And so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Got it, thanks. I'll be
I hope
going.
that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
There's not a lot of stuff
This part
here.
of my shop is off limits, even for you, my sartorial friend.
Can you guys stop looking at me? Yes, you. I can literally see him turn his head, I think. Because it's on the corner of my screen. Yeah, you can like just barely see it. Okay.
Look well, my sartorial friend.
So I don't have a map of this place, which is a bit annoying. I can navigate, but that's about it. Loaf of bread. Okay, I'm not going to take it, because that would be definitely stealing. What about this? Recipe for baking bread? Okay. Nothing super exciting then, sure.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Obvious the thief stole my purse and I... Huh, nothing. So where's the silphium? Is it just in the pot? No. Ah, here it is. Okay. So he's probably going to charge me, what, 1,000 dinars? Decius looks busy. Huh? Doesn't look that busy. Yes, thank you. I know, you're all looking at me. Yes,
Hey,
I can...
Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Decius, making you a bow.
But why?
You know
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
You don't need to defend yourself.
weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Okay, obtain a bow. Virgil? Would you make me a bow?
A new face. Salve. And
So these first few episodes are probably going to be slow as I kind of like talk to everyone and get a bit of a feel for the place.
So you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death. I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
I noticed a graffiti. Why does someone think you're a sinner?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Okay, I
And when
see.
you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagos, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So
Okay,
I
it's
hid
probably not
who I was
Virgil.
For, what was it? Nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the
Right.
Batavi.
Sorry to hear that.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Do you know who's writing the graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists.
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature as sin.
Ah,
Can
Christians.
you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they
Yeah,
supposedly burnt
Christians.
down half of Rome last year and went into hiding.
Followers of
All
Christ.
I know is if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Ah, you don't know that. Let me look into it for you.
Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
Sure. I'll see what I can do. What do you think about the Golden
Some
Rule?
people say it's divine, the work of a god. But I'm not so
I do
sure.
like a game like this where you can ask the same question for everyone and you get sort of like a feel for who they are as a person and where they kind of sit based on their responses.
You'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I think so, yes.
Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
How do you remove a god from power?
Question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Okay. Do you know a way out of here?
You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the golden rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
Okay. What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people. That kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Tell me about the architecture.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm.
Yep.
It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm.
Okay, if they bring water into the city, could we use them to escape?
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Okay, tell me about the temple up on the bluff.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery.
How so?
Usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually that god is obvious, but in this case, it's unknown.
Well, surely you'd mean it's the god of this place then.
Which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the golden rule?
I'd assume so.
Somebody figures out a way inside. I suppose we'll never know.
I don't really care about the city's history. Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Right. Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. I'll be going
Nice
now.
to talk to you.
Yes, easing restrictions. Easing the restrictions of the place where restrictions are what keep you alive.
You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths, a real nasty sort, with his face all covered up, and he's got a weapon.
Okay.
You have to do something, or he's going to break the golden rule.
How? I don't have a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
Right. Yeah. Look, I'll get right on it.
He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
No. Maybe we shouldn't meet in there?
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Never mind. I don't know why I said that.
The shrine is collapsing.
Well, that's probably why the whispers said no. Well. Shrine may collapse at any moment.
Oh God, she's dead. Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her. Oh,
Can I get to her body?
Why did you have to go in there?
Oh, there it is.
Sweet girl.
I can just take the loaf of bread? Huh. Well. Yes, you're a statue. I'm aware of this. Oh, hello. Dooley's note. I did not do it.
Don't you just
Do it.
love springtime?
Okay, so big temple up on the bluff. I want to go see that. Wow, this place has a lot of statues. Old scroll, which the author makes a case against the existence of the Golden Rule. Next page. Faulty reasoning, yet the great threat the sword Damocles that we live under, I believe, is merely deception. Dismissing counter-arguments. But as logically understandable, we assume the writers knew more than we did. This message was inscribed does not make it true, any more than if I were to inscribe Duratas the Younger is a god. Statues in place, you need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a handcart, and placed them in niches in which they sit today. I'll not soon forget them. It's real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion's sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. But ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you'll see the moment it's turning into cities. Let's see. Once for all, the Golden Rule is real as I strike one of you with my fist. Well, I feel like you learn. I should suffer the sins of the one, yeah. So what's in here? Okay. Ooh. Why are you two mirrored? It's kind of weird. Ooh, free money. I like free money. Can I get this one too? No? Okay. Maybe I can just buy the Silphium? I want to talk to, Oh, we can't go in there. Haha, interesting. Right. I'm still looking for this big temple up on the bluff. Sure. What's in here? Read the poem. Wise and torturous, 7 labors of Hercules. Okay, so Galerius is in love with someone. I do want to talk to Livia.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you.
Model arena? Okay. I don't need that. I wanna talk to Livia and find out firsthand from her what she's kind of found out. Okay, doll, sure. I'm sure she's gonna give me like very cryptic warnings, but still. Navia? Key to the chest in the Shrine of Apollo. Okay. Alright, well, the rule seems to be that if it's red, I can't take it. But if it's, like, white or yellow, then that's okay. I love how they just use them for storage and stuff. That's, a bit too real. Lucretia? No, it's just money. Just money. Herbrack. Try and ground substances. Bottle. Fermented fish sauce. Used as a condiment, it gives off faint salty aroma. Sure. Okay. Yes, you can all stop looking at me. Ow. I think I just stood in the fire. Whoops. Dice tower? Metal dice tower designed to stop people from cheating when rolling dice. Yeah, but surely you don't have to worry about that here. Domitius. Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. Nice. Huh. Man, I can go pretty deep down here, can't I? An old chest. Ooh, denarius. A fletched arrow and a bottle of wine. Okay. Well, take it, you never know. Can you see something? No. I think I'm just seeing things. Whoop. Don't jump in the water. Although, there's definitely something over there. I want to go back up. I want to keep exploring this area for the moment. God, the fact we don't have a map is very concerning. I get the feeling I'm gonna learn to, you know, navigate the city very well, but still, at the start, it's a little disconcerting. Oh wow, that's a good one. How are you staying up? What's deeper in here? God, it's like, I'm gonna get shanked in here somewhere. Another bottle of wine. Possibly the last bottle of wine in the city. Well, that's the second last bottle of wine I've found. So probably not true. God, what am I in, like a mine? Huh. Some weird shit on the walls. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Ah, so it's Livia. Place is called Accursed. Here, Titios offers up his innocence to be torn stretch over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, tackle pursue the stone that always returns. Jixion turns and follows after himself and flees in the 49 Belladades. Dead to plot destruction of their cousins, their husbands fetch again with the incessant labour of the water they have lost. Interesting. So maybe Livia went crazy because she's been exploring things down in here? Not because she's not because she found something else. Oh. Hello. I've been climbing for something that could support my weight. What are you trying to say? Thought you could support my weight. Okay, but that's somewhere we can go. It's this way, isn't it? Watches through their eyes. What, the statues? So I guess what, the god watches through the statue's eyes. Which explains why they follow us. If nothing else. Ah, does this lead to the wooden carving? So a fish carved into it looks like it might be religious in nature. No, I don't want to steal it. Stone disc. Ah, so this is probably how I get to the other side of that. It's probably in that corner over there I can climb up or something. Okay, so that's probably what the vine's for. Alright, well, let's keep looking around. I shouldn't be exploring, like, the dark passageways. This is very difficult to navigate. I can't remember this one. Oh, that's fun. I must be able to get, like, a zip line or something for these. Seems like they're just in spots around the city that encourage that. Ah, so it goes back here. Okay. Let's go and talk to Olivia. And hear from her firsthand her craziness. I think I'm going the right way. Guess I just drop down here. Right? Alright. Olivia, hit me with that craziness in 1 second. Horatius's chest. No, I don't need that. A cavalry helmet. Okay, so Horatius used to be a cavalryman. That's the fish sauce. Again.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold.
Ah, this is the tavern. Ah.
Stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron. You'll scare away my customers.
Training dummy. Looks like Demetrius has been using this training.
Imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
Starring bowl full of urine.
You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Fair. Alright. Olivia, talk to me.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls.
Yeah, souls,
It
you
does
say.
not notice the crowds that come.
What's your
The
story?
bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
Right. Fair enough. Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
Okay. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment.
Right. Actually, yeah.
Bloodless.
Hang on. I have no idea what that
They
means.
never do.
Okay, do you know a way out of
There
it?
is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
Do you need help?
Help me? You cannot help me.
Yeah, so I think they're all like sinners in some way.
A terrible pattern.
And
It's
they're
better for you if
all
you remain
dead?
Ignorant.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't really want to talk to anyone in there. I want to go check out the big temple. Oh, it's up there. You're right, that is a big temple up on the bluff. That is definitely a big temple up on the bluff. It's definitely getting darker as well. So I'm guessing, unless I mean that, or is that Malleolus's mansion? Maybe that's Malleolus's mansion, or villa, or whatever over here. Yeah, see, look, like, that's such a suspicious rope. Set up in just such a perfect way. It's not this fish sauce. If someone wanted to poison someone, like with that Sylphium, I would just poison their fish sauce. fountain. If water can enter the city via the aqueducts, perhaps there's also a way to escape through them. It's true. So that looks like a big temple over there. What is this? Or is this the temple? Okay, maybe this is the big temple. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it. Navia. Something's bashing on that door. That seems not very fun. So we need a bow, which I guess we get from the weird, like, hooded man, right? Okay. I do like how they all seem to be, yeah, frozen in place. Nice, some money. Pointing over there. Is that a good thing? Yeah, maybe we'll get like some kind of zip line that lets us have fast navigation of this place. Okay, so is this the big temple? Wow, look at this guy. What a champion. Stopped a big rock. What a lad. You would think, right, that if it's been going on this long, and people have, like, lost hope and stuff, you think they would just throw themselves off cliffs and things, right? You wouldn't think there'd be even that many people here if they thought there was no way out. They just go, nope. Or am I, you know, if they thought there was no way out... Oh, hello.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
I'm fine.
Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned.
Sure. I'll be going.
Well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no.
So you best jump off?
No. Orpheus, what are you doing?
Ah, it's literally about to do the thing that I was talking about.
You'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Yeah, because there's no escape.
I think I'm stuck for the rest of my life.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Working
It makes
someone
perfect
who
sense.
treats me like an animal.
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Do you really think his suicide... Hello? Do you really think his suicide would break the Golden Rule?
I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bondsman isn't far off.
Alright, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
God. Obvious, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide...
God, I wanted to end this
is
episode,
crime
but
against
you've
the
hooked me
Empire.
now. No, I was just gonna ask you what's wrong.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No!
Oh. He's the one that's in love with Scintilla.
I can't believe he went through with it.
So Malleolus definitely had something to do with that.
Poor lamb.
Suicide didn't break the Golden Rule. What does that mean?
Well, suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
So you're the Christian? Was that my fault?
That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
What happens now?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Oh, I could... Is that water down there? Huh. Maybe I could do that. Alright, but we are going to leave this episode here. So guys, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the Aussie Nerd, feel free to subscribe to my channel and check out the videos on there. If you think any of your friends might enjoy my content, make sure you share a video or two with them. Really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any hints, tips, tricks, feedback of the videos, or you just want to say hi, make sure you do so in the comments section down below so I can see it. And I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.